Hello, my name is Olayinka. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of Microsoft Nigeria. I'm here to talk to you about big data. There's really no definitive definition of big data, but basically it means anything that you like to do at big scale that cannot be done at small scales, but basically allows you to be able to unlock new value and extract insight, and then obviously giving value to either relationships as it relates to organization, individuals, government, and the likes. If you'd imagine that as an ordinary citizen, I'm interested in things that speak to my quality of life. With big data, obviously, you're able to better plan and allocate resources and obviously target services to the areas where they'll be more impactful and meaningful to the ordinary man on the street. If you think that the ordinary man on the street is interested in security and safety of life, with big data, you're able to basically plan as it relates to security and crime fighting, in terms of you being able to even predictively determine where crime is going to happen and then allocate resources to actually being able to tackle those crimes. If you also look at issues of safety in terms of health, with big data, you're basically able to respond better to issues of natural disasters, epidemics, and all, being able to proactively plan in that regard. Ultimately, every individual is also interested in how the resources of the state is being spent. So obviously, with big data, again, you're able to allocate resources to ensure that they're efficiently spent and people get value for what is the resources of the state, basically. So budget planning and all of the likes get better done with big data. It's quite interesting because of the dispensation also that we find ourselves, where you find that we're living in a world today that is all powered by the cloud and also being mobile first. A lot of SMEs can actually start to gain from big data in the sense that they can learn from the past very quickly and being able to self-correct errors of the past. They're able to also even forecast into the future and actually make the right kind of decision. So obviously, if you look at an SME that has very minimal resources, getting it right the first time is quite important. So with big data, they're able to ensure that what they commit to, they're actually able to take that decision with more insight and actually be able to allocate their resources more efficiently. Obviously, they're also able to learn in terms of being able to innovate. They're probably able to understand sentiments of people on the street who ordinarily would utilize would buy their product. So obviously, product planning and stuff like that would be things that they would gain. And I think just again leveraging the power of the cloud, they're able to leapfrog and actually take the benefit of big data. You would find that the next wave of innovation would actually be driven by data, would be driven by insight, which is what ultimately big data is all about. So organizations are able to target their products to the needs of the customer. They're able to tailor it, learning through sentiments, medium like social, media and stuff like that. They're able to understand what really are the buying desires of the ordinary man on the street. So they will be able to also, they're able to launch their products more targeted at the ordinary man on the street. They're able to also, internally, for example, manage their organization better in terms of fraud prevention, for example. The data that they have at their disposal and the ability to obviously churn this data and process them at the scale that big data presents makes them to obviously respond very fast to issues of fraud and issues like that. Obviously, again, they're also able to better plan and use their resources more efficiently. So those would be the kind of benefit an organization would get from big data. Of course, for the consumers, it only just makes sure that they get more personalized service. The services are tailored to exactly what it is that they want. And obviously, they get the best experience from the organizations that serve them. It also provides some form of insurance or protection, as it were. If you take a scenario like, for example, in banking, and if you look at a credit card, with a bank using big data, they're probably able to quickly respond to cases of someone probably trying to break to use my credit card. And of course, that means more protection to the users, and of course, give them also confidence to actually be able to take those services and consume those services. Well, I mean, the reality is that obviously most of the content that exists out there in the wild is being curated by people through the social medium and channels. Yes, obviously a lot more people may become cautious when they do find that privacy and surveillance is on the increase. But the reality is that a lot more of those content would continue to be generated by people through those social media channels. I was reading recently an article and was talking about how many pictures that gets taken on the first day a child was given birth to, and the analysis shows that you probably get more pictures taken than what you would, and in terms of the volume of data, more than volumes of data that exist in most typical libraries that we have out there today. So you find that the social media is actually the one that is fueling the explosion of data and the velocity that you're seeing that is driving big data. So, I mean, social media definitely is a major component and a driver of the whole big data buzz or trend itself. Obviously, it makes government more accountable because obviously a lot more data is out there. People are able to use that to insight to see how transparent and how accountable government is. And it only just means that over time, you would expect more transparency and more accountability. It also means that government will be more efficient. And if government is more efficient, obviously, the citizen gets to benefit and get better service. I think for us immediately, obviously, is the issues around budget planning, because obviously we can budget more efficiently and we can also utilize our resources more efficiently, because one would know where the real needs are out there and also basically be able to allocate our scarce resources to those areas of need. I'll take that from the context of even what we're doing as a company globally. So Microsoft, like other tech giants all over the world, formed a coalition basically to engage government all over the world, and basically trying to preach the same message, and the message being obviously that it's nice to respect privacy. I mean, obviously, if we respect people's privacy and we also follow due diligence and legal process, probably in gathering and getting data, will definitely ensure that a lot more people would be comfortable, more bold to be able to access services online. And obviously, accessing services online and being comfortable online is important, obviously, for everybody, because it fuels a lot of economic development globally, all over the world. So obviously, what we're doing, not only in Nigeria, but everywhere in the world, is basically engaging government and proactively having conversation about the fact that we must follow due diligence and process in terms of how to get data. We do understand that obviously that governments are interested in these data, obviously same for protection of the citizens of their country, but at the same time we think that doing this in a more open, transparent and legal process would obviously give more value at the end. Again, this is a question that I will start probably from the global point of view and then homing down locally. Globally, we've always supported education. We believe in continuous access or learning. We have several programs that we've launched globally that supports and boosts education all over the world. Specifically in Nigeria, we've been here for close to almost 13 years now. And since we've been here, we've been doing several engagements targeted at education. Way back in as early as 2009, we've launched the Partners in Learning engagement, which is basically how to equip teachers with modern skills to basically delivering knowledge in the classroom. We've also launched programs like USPAC, which basically seeks to bridge what we call the opportunity divide in terms of creating opportunity for the most disadvantaged set of people all over the world. And through this Youth Spark, we're launching programs like Imagine Cup, which we've run since 2009, where we basically take young, innovative minds to a global stage to basically go and compete all over the world. The thing that is very exciting for us about Imagine Cup is the fact that all winners from Imagine Cup since the time we started have all gone to actually establish their own company. A major one for us is a company called GameSol, which already has about 1 million downloads from the Windows Store and employs quite a number of young innovative minds already in the country. We believe that obviously the ICT has the opportunity to create more of the new jobs that we expect to actually solve the unemployment problem in our country. We're partnering very closely with the Ministry of ICT around several programs that they have, obviously, to jumpstart some of this. For example, we program managed the deployment of the setup of an innovation hub called IDEA in Lagos and in Tinapa. We believe that, and we basically align with the vision of the Ministry of ICT, which obviously says that by 2017, we expect that ICT should at least be generating close to almost 10% of our GDP. Already, a subset of the ICT, which is the telecoms industry, is already contributing about 4% of our GDP already. And so we see that there's a lot of promise, both to economic development and even job creation. We see that a lot of people are interested in committing money to e-commerce play and almost what you call the value add side of ICT. And again, that's also being driven by the fact that in this country we're a mobile first economy and a lot of people are getting online through the mobile. So you're finding that a lot of this mobile payments, e-commerce play is actually attracting a lot of foreign investment and obviously getting investment from for investors basically, and I think that definitely will be the areas where we'll see the most growth in the next couple of years to come. So most of our youth engagements or programs are all packaged under what we call the Youth Spark. So under Youth Spark, for example, we have the MSP program, which is a Microsoft Student Partner program, where obviously we go into universities and we try to engage these young minds. We deploy our resources in obviously committing something we call Dream Spark, which basically gives them all of our development stack. Means that they can download all of our development toolkits for nothing, for free, and obviously gets them creative. Obviously, on the back of that, we launched what we call the Imagine Cup, which I spoke about earlier also, which ensures that we take them to a global stage where they're almost like what you call the World Cup of software development. We've also recently launched the For Africa initiative, and under the For Africa initiative, we're doing programs like internship. For example, we've only just onboarded 18 interns in Nigeria as part of this program. We're also launching or rolling out several scholarship and mentoring programs. We're also launching another initiative called the employability portal. Basically, the idea is to get people on this space to be able to get mentoring opportunities, to be able to get placed in places for internship and job opportunity, basically just making them job ready. I mean, it's beyond obviously them coming out with a degree, but actually just making them job ready and obviously being able to get employment.